Welcome to Redline Racing and the European Tour, where we are going to cross the south of France and we are going to see things like villas, we're going to see beautiful vineyards, we're going to see nothing at all because of the fog sometimes. But teams are going to have a competitive, challenging adventure as they cross the map, hoping they've chosen the best route to ultimately have the most points. And in this competition, even having the best strategy sometimes doesn't guarantee the best outcome. Redline Racing was designed to fit either a 2 or 3 hour slot in your conference agenda, and participants are in teams of up to 10 people per table, and they compete against all of the other tables in the room. One of the fun things about this program is you can either do it as is with the materials you see in front of you, or the room can be themed beyond belief with tablecloths, with banners, with big maps, with flags hanging from the ceilings. There's so many options to theme this up to ultimately bring out the ultimate race car experience. So ultimately, to win in Redline Racing, you have to get the most points by choosing the best route. One of the challenges is when you start the race, you have no idea what anything on the map actually means. And the only way to get points is by choosing a route and following the roadways and going checkpoint to checkpoint to checkpoint. There could be up to 50 or 100 other teams in the room all trying to do the same thing. So with only 5 minutes to create the best strategy, teams have 20 rounds that contain 2 parts. First of all, we need to make a decision as a team, and secondly, we need to take action on the decision that's been made. So to make a decision on a team, it's very simple. If you have 10 people on the team, each one of them has a perspective, and there are 6 racing stones that each person will have, and each of these stones represents a choice. Do we want to get information? Do we want to stop and plan? Do we want to move across the map? So as an individual, I make a decision, I share my perspective with my team, and ultimately we decide what is the team consensus. And using the technology and the keypad, we enter our team's decision into the keypad. And once all teams have registered their vote, we take a look at the screen, we see how the room is voted, and ultimately every single team has to take action on the room majority. So my strategy may not be the tactics that I have to follow. So ultimately, I have to follow what the room decides. So over the course of 50 minutes or up to 20 rounds, teams repeat that process. What do I want to do? What is our crew deciding to do? And ultimately, what is the room telling us we have to do? There are opportunities on the map to course correct because sometimes we find ourselves in a situation that just isn't best. Every person on the team will have a role designated, wearing a badge, so that there are clearly defined roles and ensure that every team is set up for success. So at the beginning of the race, every team wants to win. But did every team demonstrate a commitment to win? And in the debrief following Redline Racing, we introduced 3 very simple key learnings that are the keys to success if you want to guarantee an outcome in Redline Racing, which we then translate to their business. And the 3 learnings are very simple. The first one is learn from the best. When the race starts, there are over 20 pieces of information that participants can choose to open. And how do you know where to begin? Well, there's one piece of information that's called a winner's note. And a winner's note means that someone has done this before you and been successful. And whenever you're taking on a new challenge, whenever you're trying to win, if you want to guarantee or demonstrate a commitment to win, we need to have the mindset that learns from the best. Others have done it before, what can we learn from them? The second key learning is drive to win. Every team takes the same amount of action, they all have the same opportunity, but not every team drives to win. Some just drive and they cross the map and they end up with mediocre results. 7,100 points is what is possible in Redline Racing. And if a team has that goal at the very beginning of the race, then they measure every decision against 7,100 versus what do we want our next step to be. So there's a big difference between just driving, which is activity, and driving to win, which is guaranteeing a productive outcome. So we learn from the best, we drive to win. And the third key learning is don't give up, course correct. Undoubtedly, there's going to be teams that get off on the wrong foot because what their strategy was is not what the room decided to do. So although they have the ability to influence throughout the activity, they need to have opportunities, and there are opportunities on the map to course correct, to realize we are not on the right path, we are not achieving our goal. How do we change tactics to guarantee the end result? It's not about changing the goal, it's about changing the path. So we need to learn from the best, drive to win, and don't give up, course correct. So our debriefs are never what I call off the shelf. And one of the ways to guarantee that Redline racing is relevant for any group is to have the facilitator spend time with the client up front, to understand the objectives of the meeting or the conference, the themes that are being used, some of the objectives for the team for the year, some of the challenges that they're facing, so that the debrief seems like it is tailor-made for every group. That's a standard in our industry. But we also have the ability to customize the experience for a group. I had a group who wanted this to be all about collaboration, and we actually changed the key learnings, and instead of learn from the best, it was learn from the rest, and we put one small tiny rule change in the experience that drove collaboration right from the very beginning. I recently had someone ask, can we change the location from the south of France? We'd like it to be in the Sahara. Well, certainly we can. We just need time, and we can make any changes to the map that we need. The mechanics will stay the same. So this program is very easy to customize for either your learning or a theme at your conference, but it's guaranteed to be challenging, it's guaranteed to be competitive, and it's guaranteed to be relevant for your group.